from the Digital Production Center at Troy University, with news from across America and around the globe. This is Troy TrojanVision Global News.
This is Troy TrojanVision Global News, where we will give you a look at what's happening across the nation and around the world. I'm Victoria Sabinina. Here's what's making the news on March 20th, 2015. The head of the Secret Service told lawmakers Thursday that reports of agents crashing a car at White House barricade are greatly exaggerated. But he also admits the organization may have erased the surveillance video of the incident. Judge Jones reports on Joe Clancy's third grilling on Capitol Hill in 2 days.
Serious questions about the Secret Service incident remain tonight, especially about critical surveillance video that was recorded over before it could be reviewed.
We understand it's a concern. We're doing everything we can to retrieve those images.
The director said it's standard practice for video to be eliminated after 72 hours. The problem is he was not alerted to the incident until nearly a week later.
The fact that I did not learn of this allegation until 5 days after it is said to have occurred is unacceptable. I'm very unhappy about it.
Following a retirement party in early March, 2 senior agents drove under police tape into the middle of a bomb investigation outside the White House, bumping a plastic barrel with their car. It's unclear if the agents were drinking that night, but the director said he is prepared to take disciplinary action depending on the outcome of an inspector general's investigation.
And if they felt that the driver or the supervisor were under the influence of alcohol, they should have taken appropriate action, and that action would have been certainly to notify the chain of command all the way up to my office.
For the highly trained agents of the Secret Service, it's another black mark on an institution that prides itself on professionalism. Some experts now question whether Director Clancy is the right person to get the service back on track.
Clancy is part of the problem. And, you know, what's needed here is an FBI investigation into what happened, because you simply can't trust Clancy and the Secret Service to impartially investigate what happened.
A group of dogs that arrived in the Bay Area on Thursday now have a chance at a good life. They were rescued from a farm in South Korea, where the SPCA says the animals were being raised so they could be killed and sold at food markets. Weekly reports.
The last 15 of the 57 rescued dogs arrived at the San Francisco SPCA today after a long 11-hour flight from Seoul. Their eyes are downcast. Most seem terrified, uncertain of where they are.
Go this way and get away from these people.
This one is afraid to get out. Maybe he thinks he's going to the market for slaughter. Some are puppies, like this cute little one. Many are bigger. Almost all are a type of Korea Mastiff, a Tosa mix.
Some of these dogs, as you see, are very friendly. Most of them are completely docile.
None of the dogs appears to be suffering from major injuries.
We're just seeing sort of nutritional issues and trying to get them over into a better food source. But other than that, they're in pretty good condition.
The dogs were destined for a market like this one, where people buy meat and produce. Dog meat is considered to be healthy, especially during the summer. They're killed by electrocution, beaten to death, or hanged.
It's really primarily the older population that consumes dog meat. Most of the younger population does not consume the meat, and they're not interested in consuming it.
Adam Periscandola is with Humane Society International. He was in charge of the rescue.
The conditions on the farm are really deplorable. They ever clean the cages. The dogs live in darkness, very dark. Small cages, there's no heating.
Periscandola says the farmer agreed to shut down his dog farm.
He's going to go into into agriculture. I believe he's going to grow chili peppers. That's what he expressed to us.
They'll be quarantined for about a week. They'll be spayed or neutered. Some will be ready for adoption immediately. Others may take longer. Vic Lee, ABC 7 News.
This morning, a woman is waking up behind bars accused of a horrific crime. Police say she posted an ad to Craigslist with the intention of stealing a baby from the womb of another. Now, the victim is recovering from the brutal attack. Mary Mullenly has the disturbing details.
A horrific crime will forever change the lives of these two women. Michelle Wilkins went to this house 7 months pregnant. Police say she responded to an ad on Craigslist for baby clothes. But this mother-to-be, seen smiling in family pictures, made a chilling cry for help.
She cut me.
Who cut you?
Downstairs, I don't know.
Police say she was beaten, stabbed, and bleeding. Her baby had been cut out of her.
Where did she cut you at?
I'm pregnant. She got me on my stomach.
Emergency crews found Wilkins going in and out of consciousness, barely able to speak. They also found a knife with a 3-inch blade under the bed. It's the weapon police say Dynell Lane used to attack the mother-to-be in order to cover up an elaborate lie. According to the police report, Lane told her husband she miscarried a baby, and he saw the baby gasping for breath. Investigators say the husband then drove Lane and the baby to the hospital, the same place crews would take Wilkins. The baby didn't make it, but Wilkins will, perhaps because of the precision police say Lane, a former nurse's aide, used to cut out the baby.
There's no way murder charges can be brought if it's not established that the fetus lived as a child outside the body of the mother.
While Lane leaves court shackled in a prison uniform and held on a $2 million bail, Wilkins' family says they're grateful Wilkins survived. But they will forever grieve the baby they will never know. I'm Mary Maloney, reporting.
A unique event happened today in the world, and some people are preparing to go to Mars. We'll have that and more here on TrojanVision Global News.
With more news from across the nation and around the globe, Troy Trojan Vision will return in 2 minutes.
Here's to the things that can keep us safe. Those we use all the time with hardly a thought. Those that are silently standing by to save our lives. And now, those that we carry with us everywhere we go. Many mobile devices will now bring you wireless emergency alerts, real-time information directly from local sources you know and trust. With the unique sound and vibration, you'll be in the know wherever you are.
Why is my son having trouble in school?
Finding lowest airfare to Istanbul.
No, I'm tired of fighting with my son over his homework.
Home, walk, restaurant. Need a review?
No. He's smart, but his mind wanders.
7 wonders of the world.
Why don't you understand me?
I do. I was trying to show how Connor feels every day. Redirecting to understood.org.
Join parents and experts at understood.org, a free online resource about learning and attention issues to help your child thrive.
So I've come up with the family emergency plan.
Great. What is it?
It's difficult to talk about, so I'm not telling you.
How will we know what to do?
You won't.
I'm so glad I won't have to remember anything.
And me too. Thanks for this, sweetie.
Talk to your kids about who to call, where to meet, what to pack. Visit ready.gov/kids for tips and information.
The warrior spirit. It's in there. Always has been. Now let it out and take the world by fire. Train well and learn what it means to be a Troy Trojan. Walk with confidence, conquer, claim territory, and climb ladders. Know that you have the power to stand alone, but the comfort of knowing that you'll never have to. Discover your inner warrior. Find it at troy.edu/spirit.
Keeping you up to date with news from around the globe, this is Troy Trojan Vision Global News.
Today, what promises to be a spectacular solar eclipse will be visible across the northern hemisphere. But we won't see much in the east. The moon's shadow will fall across parts of North Africa, Europe, and the Middle East. Erin McLaughlin explains the science behind the phenomenon.
Long ago, ancient cultures around the globe looked to the skies in shock and bewilderment. Many believed they were watching the sun being eaten by an animal, like a dog or a mythical dragon. Now we know there's a more scientific explanation for one of nature's most spectacular displays, the solar eclipse. Watching as the moon blocks out the light from the sun, it can be hard to imagine the amazing cosmic coincidence taking place. The sun's diameter is some 400 times larger than the moon's, but it's just the right distance away to appear the same size. For a couple of minutes, when the sun and moon are perfectly aligned, the moon completely covers the sun's disk. The sun's atmosphere, or corona, can be seen in the dim light along with stars and planets. This glowing atmosphere is much hotter than the surface of the sun, but no one is exactly sure why. It's a question puzzling astronomers. This so-called totality only exists in a narrow band, where the moon's shadow falls on the Earth. Outside this zone, some observers can see a partial eclipse, where it looks like a chunk has been taken out of the sun. It's not a phenomenon that will last forever. The moon is slowly moving away from the Earth, and one day it will appear too small in the sky to cover the sun completely. But don't worry, if you miss this total solar eclipse, NASA estimates that you still have 563 million years to catch one. If you are lucky enough to see this incredible spectacle, remember, never look directly at the sun, even with everyday sunglasses. You risk causing permanent damage to your eyes. If you don't have access to special filters, a safe way to observe the show is to make a pinhole in a piece of paper and project the image onto another sheet.
A Stoneham, Massachusetts man is among the 100 semi-finalists for a one-way trip to the Red Planet. The trip is sponsored by the Dutch nonprofit Mars One. The semi-finalists come from a pool of more than 200,000 entrants. And as Jack Harper reports, it's a one-way trip.
She said, okay, very good. Vinke, vinke, bye-bye.
The wife's reaction to his trying to become her favorite Martian. Peter Deegan Portnoy is right there among the Mars 100, getting closer to a possible one-way ticket to Mars.
If I make it into round 4 and I'm one of the members chosen for a launch team, I will go to Mars.
The Mars One plan would select 6 teams of 4 to undergo 7 years of training, the first team leaving in 2024. Beyond all the risk, the biggest concern for many, the one-way ticket.
Some people might think you're a little crazy.
Yes.
It doesn't surprise you, obviously.
No.
Peter Deegan Portnoy respects those opinions. He's 51, a software engineer, father of 5, a dreamer who has a chance to see his come true.
It's important on a grand human scale. This is an opportunity to push the boundaries of humanity off of our planet for the very first time.
Investors banking on broadcast rights from the colony. With that connection and others, Deegan Portnoy feels he's not really taking off on the family.
Broadcast streaming from Mars, live from Mars, with a 3 to 20 minute delay.
Until death or a bad broadcast signal do us part.
One of my colleagues asked me early on, aren't you just going to Mars to die? And I said, well, aren't you just staying here on Earth to die? We're all going to die, that's a given. Where you do it, that might be up to you. And I'd like to do it on Mars. I think that would be awesome.
ISIS is claiming responsibility for this week's terrorist attack in Tunisia. The group warns the shooting at the museum that left at least 23 people dead could just be the beginning. Paulo Sandoval reports from Washington, where intelligence experts are poring over the audio.
The 3-minute audio statement quickly caught the attention of U.S. officials. The online recording was reportedly posted by ISIS. It claims the terror group is behind the bloody attack at a museum in Tunisia. It left at least 23 people dead, many of them foreign tourists.
The tactics that we saw at the Bardo Museum would be entirely consistent with tactics that ISIL has previously used that show a blatant disregard and even a brutality for innocent civilians.
U.S. officials say there is no reason to doubt the legitimacy of the recording. They believe the attack may have been carried out by local ISIS supporters in Tunisia. Terrorism analysts estimate some 3,000 Tunisians have gone to the Middle East to train with ISIS. Many of them could be back home.
It's possible that these gunmen had fought in Syria and Iraq, were experienced in terrorism and killing people and handling guns, and then came back to Tunisia to launch this attack.
A Twitter message was posted just days before Wednesday's museum massacre. In it, an apparent Tunisian jihadist promised a pledge of allegiance to the leader of ISIS would come soon. Leaders in Tunisia worry their country may see a spike in extremism. The clip, reportedly posted by ISIS, promises more violence, describing the Tunisian attack as, quote, just a start. It's an ominous threat, adding urgency to the global war against the terror group. In Washington, I'm Polo Sandoval reporting.
How to drink soda and be healthy? More on that after the break.
With more news from across the nation and around the globe, Troy Trojan Vision will return in 2 minutes.
Look at me. Hey.
Raymond, look at Mommy.
Maybe the light hurts his eyes.
Maybe she's just not hungry. Maybe he can't hear us. Maybe we're not stimulating him enough. Maybe it's a phase.
Avoiding eye contact is one early sign of autism. Learn the others today. The sooner it's diagnosed, the better.
It's a beautiful day out here. Sunny today with light breezes, giving way to clouds in the afternoon. We could see some light precipitation to moderate precipitation later on, followed by powerful storm-like conditions. 90 miles per hour winds are expected. Authorities are asking everyone, stay indoors. Come on, that's it. Let's go.
So they say it's a man's world? I don't see anybody's name on it.
While they were doing their thing, we slowly changed our world.
Today, women can do anything men can do. And there's one thing we're even better at.
Staring contest.
You still got it. I know.
Come alive with the forest. Visit discovertheforest.org to find a forest near you.
This is Dr. Jack Hawkins. He is the Chancellor of Troy University and a veteran. One of his proudest achievements is helping our military build great careers. That's the warrior spirit.
Now, news for your life from Troy Trojan Vision Global News.
Parents of newborns may be taken aback when the doctor says their child has jaundice. However, it's a common condition and usually nothing to be worried about. Holly Furfer has the details in today's Health Minute.
Hello, Ben. To share and yeah, it's relaxing.
Jaundice is yellow color of the skin. It's caused by the pigment bilirubin. Newborns typically have a slightly higher amount, so it's very common for newborns to have some yellow color to the skin. One of the reasons that babies have higher levels of bilirubin is because of breastfeeding. Because with the way that breast milk is digested in the body, it causes the body to retain bilirubin. That converts the bilirubin into a form that's more easily excreted out of the body. And the nice thing now is that the technology allows us to often do this at home.
Woman is celebrating her 104th birthday, but her favorite doctor has been around for 130 years. And the two of them have had a love that spanned nearly 4 decades. Kelly O'Kelly reports on how that love manifested on her big birthday.
Well, at 103, I didn't think I'd make it, and it's still perking along.
At 104 years old, Elizabeth Sullivan says she doesn't need the advice of real doctors, so she keeps another doctor close by.
People try to give me coffee for breakfast. Well, I'd rather have a Dr. Pepper.
She fell in love with the soft drinks trademark 23 flavors when she was in her 60s.
I started drinking them about 40 years ago, 3 a day, and every doctor that sees me says it'll kill you, but they die and I don't, so yeah, they must be a mistake somewhere.
Today, for her birthday, she's getting a very big surprise.
We brought you a beautiful cake shaped like a Dr. Pepper can.
Oh, my word, look at that.
Isn't that gorgeous?
Oh, it is. We'll put it right there in the...
Awesome. And we
Oh.
brought you a
Look
of
here,
Dr. Pepper.
there's more in bottles, no doubt. How are you doing, ma'am?
I'm doing fine.
Let me come to you. You stay right there.
When you live to be 104 and still can talk to nice people, you deserve some Dr. Peppers, but I never expected.
She even got a gift basket straight from the CEO of Dr. Pepper's Snapple Group, Larry Young.
Nobody's going to believe all of this stuff. I wish my daughter were here.
She's well known in the community. She taught math at Pascal High School for 15 years and tutored football players for free. But today, she's thinking more about what and who she's thankful for.
Well, I'm feeling good. I'm glad I'm still here. And I'm glad I'm not in a rest home where, I'm glad I can read books and watch TV and have people come by to say hello.
When Chelsea Elliott was 4 years old, she went blind in her left eye and deaf in her right ear. Her parents didn't know it, but Chelsea had a rare condition known as Cott's disease. If it had been caught early enough, her vision and hearing could have been saved. Now, nearly 20 years later, Chelsea is devoting her life to making sure children have access to screenings that could save their vision and hearing. She is this week's CNN hero.
All right, Chelsea.
I was a very active child. Anything I could see, I grabbed. I was barely 4 when I lost my vision in my left eye. The following years, I was so angry. This was an irreversible change. 25% of children ages 5 to 17 have a vision problem. 25%. How can you fully embrace all the opportunities available if you can't see them? Okay, keep looking right at the light for me. Our program provides free vision screenings to all school-age children in Maui County. You're all done, thank you. We actually use advanced technology, which allows us to test in seconds. Had this device been around when I was 4 years old, could have saved my vision. After the screening, we deliver referral reports to the school health aide. And for low-income families, we provide access to an eye care professional and financial assistance to cover the cost of corrective wear.
The castle was sparkling clean. My daughter loves books. We never thought something was wrong. So when I got the letter, we were caught off guard.
Riley reminded me a lot of myself. We both turned out to have pretty severe conditions.
Riley's only 4 years old, and because they caught it early, we can help her.
Just seeing her, even today with glasses, knowing that her vision is going to be completely fine because we caught it, that's what we do.
Stay tuned for plans of One Direction, next on TrojanVision Global News.
With more news from across the nation and around the globe, TrojanVision will return in 2 minutes.
Did you know kids who play outdoors have healthier lungs?
Totally. I did. Did you know that boys that play with dolls make better husbands?
My son has lots of dolls.
But did you know terracloth diapers breathe better?
I did.
It's totally true.
Oh, yeah.
Did you know that strollers have the right of way on the sidewalk?
Yes.
Yep, I did. Did you guys
Did you know that kids who eat breakfast have higher GPAs?
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. That's actually what I was going to say.
Did you know babies should never touch silver? It's really bad for them.
I knew that.
Did you guys know that statistically friendly kids have more friends?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's obvious.
Did you know most people think they're using the right car seat for their kid, but they're not?
Parents who really know it all know for sure that their child is in the right seat at the right age and size. Visit safercar.gov/the right seat to make sure your child is protected.
I'm putting that on my blog.
I just put it in mine.
You were supposed to make a right, but you made a left. And it's okay, you found your way. On a personal note, as I was counseling the two of you.
This is Dr. Daniel Smith. He's an expert in domestic and international economics, but his proudest achievement is helping his students accomplish more than they ever thought possible. That's the warrior spirit.
Keeping you up to date with news from around the globe, this is Troy TrojanVision Global News.
A member of One Direction is taking some time off, and Ludacris is in the House of Representatives. Jeremy Roth has those stories and more in today's Hollywood Minute.
One of the members of the British pop group One Direction is headed in a different direction. Zayn Malik has quit the band's world tour. A spokesperson for the group says the 22-year-old has been signed off with stress and is headed back to the UK to recuperate. Malik recently apologized on social media after being pictured with his arms around a woman who is not his fiancée. One Direction's spokesperson says the band will continue on to their performances in Manila and Jakarta. Get ready for a gathering of Goodfellas. This year's Tribeca Film Festival will close with a screening of Martin Scorsese's gangster classic and an onstage reunion with Scorsese and key cast members, moderated by Jon Stewart. The reunion marks the film's 25th anniversary and will feature a remastered version of the film. The New York Festival runs April 16th through the 25th. A moment of levity in American politics? That's ludicrous. No, really, that's ludicrous. The hip-hop star and actor was honored in the Georgia House of Representatives Thursday for his work with children. Luda also rubbed elbows with potential presidential candidate Jeb Bush, who delivered a speech to the state legislature. Bush tweeted after the two met saying, "I never thought Ludacris would be my opening act." For Hollywood Minute, I'm Jeremy Roth.
A red-clouded leopard, a tip for long life, and Greedo makes a comeback. The video that will have you talking. Isn't it? Take a look at this.
Take a look at this. This noisy newborn is a rare clouded leopard and is the newest addition to the Lowry Park Zoo in Tampa. Less than 2 weeks old, this is the first baby for the zoo's clouded leopard pair. Because he's an endangered species, he will be hand-reared by zoo staff for about 3 months. For this 104-year-old's birthday, it's just what the doctor ordered. Dr. Pepper, that is. According to Elizabeth Sullivan, 3 Dr. Peppers a day is the secret to her longevity.
Every doctor that sees me says it'll kill you, but they die and I don't, so they must be a mistake somewhere.
Sullivan says she's been drinking the soda for 40 years. And take a look at this. Not your ordinary catfish and not an ordinary name. The previously unknown species, with its large wide eyes, puckered lips, and protruding bristles, may look vaguely familiar. His official name is a little difficult to pronounce, but you can call him Greedo, in honor of his brother from a different mother, the bounty hunter from the first Star Wars movie. For Take a Look at This, I'm Jeremy Roth.
A Canyon police dog is recovering after getting bitten by a rattlesnake while tracking a suspect in Florida. Melanie Michael tells us how he's doing.
Tense moments inside the vet's office. We were there as Ajax received treatment for a rattlesnake bite. His handler right by his side, offering comfort. This canine cutie is quite swollen and received 2 doses of antivenom as the handlers stand by, the canine unit, praying for a speedy recovery.
This is just unfortunate. I mean, these dogs are members of the family at home, and then they're partners when they're on the street working, and there's a really tight bond.
Ajax has been with his handler at St. Pete PD for a year now. The two were tracking a suspect today when this happened. That's when the snake struck.
And all of a sudden, he says he saw Ajax yelp and jump up high, and he saw the extension of the snake, and then the snake ended up between the dog and him, so he took out his firearm and he shot him 3 times.
And that wraps things up for us here on TrojanVision Global News. For a look at what's going on a little closer to home, stay tuned for TrojanVision News. I'm Victoria Sabinina. Thanks for joining us.
Stay tuned for more news after this on Troy TrojanVision.
you store your guns properly. I'll feel safer when I'm playing outside.
Safer when walking home.
And I won't have to tell my kids, this isn't a drill.
Never let your gun get into the wrong hands. Always